Hey guys, we just started a new lesson here. It's connected to some things that we've already done. So this is actually, it works out pretty well. The way this chapter is laid out, patterns of reproduction. So it gets into some things that we've had before, but it also introduces some new terms and some new things as well. Basics here is that we need to, let's go to here real quick. But here for patterns of reproduction, some of the key terms and things that we're going to be looking at is the difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Remember that whenever it says download, you don't have to do those. If you want to do a couple of those as an extra credit, that's fine. But where it says notebook, I need to see everybody put a response in here. You need to respond to those, and I can look through those. So asexual reproduction really just involves one parent that is then going to be, it's going to reproduce asexually, meaning that there's not a mother and a father. It's just basically going to make an exact copy of itself. And it's a good thing that we don't have asexual reproduction in the animal kingdom because we have such great diversity and things like that. And it's something like this with the COVID-19. Could you imagine if we were all just clones of each other? Then we would not be able to. If one person had an adverse effect to a viral infection or a bacterial infection, even, then that would wipe out the entire population. So it wouldn't just be one person getting it and then maybe some others get it and then it spread like that, but everybody would get it and everybody would have the same outcome, whatever that outcome may be. Through sexual reproduction, you have the fertilization between egg and sperm, and you have we've talked about how those, the chromosomes, how you're getting 23 halves of the chromosome from mom and 23 from dad. And then that variety creates in there a brand new DNA combination that's never existed before, and it'll never exist again. And so within that unique combination of DNA, you have within that built in, there's going to be such variety that there's going to be people that aren't going to be sick. They're going to respond differently to an infection. For example, I saw this, it was one of the congressmen, he has COVID-19, and the only symptom that he has is a lack of smell and lack of taste. No other symptom. Now, I don't know if that's in his genes or whether that's just, in his health of overall health or what that may be, but his response to this same virus is different than other people's response to that virus. So when we look at sexual reproduction, it's a very good thing that we have a different combination of traits from these genes that are in the DNA sequence. So besides asexual and sexual reproduction, as we compare those two, you're going to go through and read and respond to those. This gets us into inheritance, which is where we left off before we left. Inheritance, talking about the genes that make up the chromosomes, or that make up the chromosomes. I'm sorry, genes that make up the DNA, which are a part of the DNA, which make up chromosomes, which are within the nucleus of the cell. And so when we're looking at these traits, we have some new terms like allele, which is basically a different form of the same gene. And we did go into dominant versus recessive, but there's also things like codominance. There's incomplete dominance, and then there's codominance. I find it fascinating that things like skin color are codominant. That basically there is no dominant and recessive. You basically have this wide variety of shades of skin color, which adds to the diversity of our species. We're going to get into some different things with the multiple alleles, and this is going to lead us to inheritance and into beyond this. We're going to be able to get into Punnett squares and crosses and get into genetics a little bit more heavily before when we return from our break. But this chapter is going to help you through that, give you a good base for where we're about to go with that. So if you look, there's also, besides the e-text, we have a video to watch. The video is about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And then starting tomorrow, it'll be opened up for, there's a lesson check, a reading check. So the reading check, let me pull this up so you can see it, but the e-text lesson 1 check here, this one, you can use the reading. You can use the reading in order to answer the questions within that lesson 1 check. Please do. For the quiz, I'm going to ask that you don't use any resources. Remember that I know we're distance learning, but remember that the Baylor Honor Code continues to prevail here. I'm going to ask that you take that quiz honestly. It's not worth your integrity to look up an answer or it's just not worth it. It's a quiz. It's just a simple quiz. And I want you guys to do your best without having to look up anything there. Guys, if you have any problems, once again, email me, let me know. We'll get on a help session. We've had plenty already. We have some scheduled for tomorrow and Thursday as well. Just let me know if you're having any issues at all. If you're having any issues, please, please, please let me know so that we can get together and we can solve those issues together. Remember, we're in this together and we're going to get through it. All right. Take care.